Hello and welcome. So this is my Let's Create, just hitting the camera before we've even started. My Let's Create Christmas Creative Day. And these are the recordings for those that are unable to make the in-person event. So I've focused the projects around the Sweet Candy Cane stamp set, which you all would have got in your box, and some of the designer series paper. And just because I can, I added in a few of the Santa Express bits for just something different towards the end. So we've got a few card projects, a couple of tree ornaments, and we'll go from there and see what we've got. So the first project, I thought we'd start simple just so that it doesn't upset anybody. So it's a 10-fold card. So you're going to need a piece of the real red cardstock that's in your kit. There should be plenty of everything and lots of leftovers because that's the game we like to play. And you're also going to want the DSP that looks like this, and the reverse is the green spots. Okay. And you're going to need your stamps. So ink wise, I have used Garden Green and Real Red because I felt that they went really nicely with the sweet. So we'll get 2 card bases out of here. So I'm going to score it, landscape at 14.9, turn and cut at 10.5 centimetres. So we'll put this one away for later. Okay. And then whilst we've got the trimmer out, you'll see that you can have it this way stripe or this way stripe. But you're also going to need the die cut that's in your paper, in your kits. And it will work out really well to have it this way. Okay, just like that. Just like that. So you're going to need a 10 centimetre strip off of here. And then we'll turn this and cut it at 14.4. I'm awful and I save these little bits just to decorate inside because I can, ultimately. And before we put the trimmer away, let's have one of the pieces of basic white. And we're going to need some layers for inside. So if we cut this at 10 centimetres by 14.4, we may as well do the other one whilst we're here. And again, I save all of these little pieces for sentiments and things later. And we're also going to need, I'm pretty certain it was a 2 centimetre strip that I used in the middle, but I might get my, she says, what am I after? My ruler. I just couldn't find it. It's a good start already, isn't it? That's about 1.9. I think it was probably a strip that I had left off, but we'll go for 2 centimetres by 10.5 so that it covers the front there. So that should be all of the trimming for now for this project. She says it's famous last words, that, isn't it? Okay, so let's burnish this card here because being a 10th fold, we want it to stand up really nicely. So this here will line up, she says. What we're going to need to do is play with it, okay, so that we get our lines in here. Because if we have it like that, it's going to hide a lot of it. I quite like it where you get to see a bit more. So we could have it like that. So what I'm going to do is I'll put a bit of Tombow along the bottom here. It's not really much of an art to it, unfortunately. And then it's remembering where you went. That worked out quite nicely, she says. Okay. So, as you'll see, it needs trimming now up the end. But before we do that, I'm going to put some Tombow along here too. And because we've got a fat strip, a few of them, go down those ones so it's not flapping about. There we go. Lovely jubbly. So you can use your snips if you're confident enough to, or you could use your trimmer. I am literally just going to run my snips along here. Use the edge as your guide. Sorry, I think I went off the screen slightly then. Okay, and this really simply goes on here. Okay. So again, we'll get some Tombow on here. Apologies for my voice. Too much shouting. This normally happens. There we go. Okay, while we're here, and I've got the glue out, I'm just going to put the inside layer in, because I can, ultimately. There we go. And then, so those trimmings that you saved earlier, you can always just glue those inside. Just because it adds a little bit of continuity through the card, really. Oh, it does if you do it straight, can it? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to need the ink pad and some of your white card, because we're going to need to stamp. She says if she remembers where she's put the stamp set. I moved it 5 seconds ago. Okay. Yeah, that way. It's alright, my tiny little mind gets confused very quickly with these. And then what stamps sentiment may the good times of today become the cherished memories of tomorrow. Lovely. Sorry, I've really got a tickle. And I've used the garden green for that. So I love the fact that these are red rubber. I do love a red rubber stamp. And if you're being frugal with your card, just be mindful of how you're stamping. Because it's a cling stamp set, you won't need your Stampin' Pierce mat underneath. And then while we got that ink, I've just stuck my finger in there. That's always a clever move. And while we've got that out, we'll do the sentiment as well. Probably shouldn't have done this bit like, that's not bad, I'll take that. All day long. Quite impressed with myself. So if you purchase the dies, I know some of you did, you can use the dies to cut this out. I'm going to show you that it's really easy to fussy cut, purely for those that didn't. Because they are really easy. Apologies, I've got the camera right where I want to see. So this may not be perfect. If I stood up, I'd probably be able to see, she says. But never mind. It's only Monday, it shouldn't be this bad, right? I think the Halloween decorations are providing a shadow over the desk, so apologies. I'll try and manoeuvre myself or them for the next one. If not, hopefully you can still see everything clear enough. There we go. How quick was that? So we've got this, and because this goes the width of your card, you'll see here I've used some, oh, you will if I put it in the light, dimensionals. How do you know when your child has been using dimensionals? They're not in the nice straight lines that Mummy likes to use them. So I'm going to use probably 3 or 4 on here, just because I want to make sure it's supported in a 3. There we go, we'll do 3. I'll probably change my mind in a bit, but never mind. There we go. Oh, that was lucky. And then that will go over there. And then this will sit over here like this. So because this is already raised up, you want to put your dimensionals either end. You don't want any in the middle here, because otherwise it's going to throw it out. There we go. Oh, dimensionals are sticking to a bit of glue on my finger. It's been a long time since I've done some of these. Apologies. Life seems to have got in the way. Okay, and then everybody's got some of their... Again, I think my child's pinched some of these. And I don't know where my take your pick is. There it is. These are lifesavers for me. And so I've used the red ones. By all means, use whichever ones you fancy. I've kind of dotted probably 3, knowing me. I like to do 3s or 5s. There we go. Project 1 completed.